Okay, so here's a really simple program where we have an array that has 5 elements in it, and each of them is an integer. Now, when you have 5 elements, the valid indices, right, the indices technically is a name, is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Because it starts at 0. So you really shouldn't store anything in an index other than 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you do, like use index -1 or 5, it's considered to be an array index out of bounds errors. And different compilers handle these differently. So here we're going to see what Replit does. Often if you just try to display what's stored in an index that's out of bounds, it'll let you do it because you're not really hurting anything. So for instance, I'm going to put just less than or equal to here because now the indices here will go from 0 to 5. So it's going to try and access number sub 5, right, which there's nothing in. You'll see we don't get any type of warning or error message when we run it. It just displays value, and it's likely that this is the value that happens to be sitting in that next memory location outside of the array. So you're not hurting anything, but you know, if this is in a program, this would be giving you bad data. So that's a problem. Often different if you try and store something in that index. If we try and store something at index 5, we could be overwriting a value that's important because maybe there's value stored out there for other programs that are running or even in your own program. So as an example, if I do this, this actually gives me a message, right? Array index 5 is past the end of the array, which contains 5 elements. Oh, that's a good message. So you are getting a message there. Just see if that's a warning message. So, you know, it's more of a warning, but that's really a problem because now it will run, it'll display the 66, but we could have just overwritten some data that was important to a different part of our program because maybe we had another variable there that we just wrote that data over, or for a different application that's running. So this is what's considered array index out of bounds. You want to make sure that you don't do that. Later in this chapter, we'll be talking about vectors, which are similar to arrays, but they do a better job of bounds checking.